Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at our very first kindergarten readiness event. We are waiting for a few more people as we check their registration. My name is Joylyn. I'm the Community Outreach Chair for Carrollton Early Childhood PTA. And thank you so much for joining us today. So like maybe 2 more minutes and I'll be right back.
And then we put in a list that
Okay, I think Annette is here. We're ready to get started. Again, my name is Joylyn. Thank you again for being with us. I hope you enjoy our presentation today and take away valuable information from our guest speakers. We're so excited to bring this event to you today. And I'm going to introduce you to Amber Gorski. She is our publicity chair, and she will lead the event. Let me share our presentation. There we go.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Amber Gorski. I'm the publicity chair. And then we are very excited for you all to join us today. This is our very first kindergarten readiness event. We're very excited because the topic of kindergarten readiness is just so important. And I know it can feel a little intimidating. So especially if you haven't already been through the process before with like an older child. So, like me, we want to help demystify that process for you, so you can feel confident about sending your baby off to kindergarten for the first time. So thank you so much for our guest speakers for joining us today. From CFB ISD, we have Janet Cardoza, Sandy Meyer, and Claudia Arizaleta. And then from LASD, we have Heidi Veal. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to have just a little introduction, and then we're going to hear from CFB ISD and then LASD. And then at the end, we're going to open it up to a Q&A. So at that point, you can ask any questions you have in the chat, and then our guest speakers can answer your questions. So let's go to the next slide. All right, so from CFB ISD, we have Janet Cardoza, Sandy Meyer, and Claudia Arizaleta, and they're going to talk to us about kindergarten readiness. They have some helpful resources and websites, and we're going to email out this slide to everyone after our meeting. So check your emails today or tomorrow, and then that way you can see all the links we have and you can click on everything. So I'm going to turn this over to Janet.
Hi, I'm Sandy Meyer. Yanette is in between meetings, and I think that she'll be able to pop in a second. So I apologize for that. I'm Sandy Meyer. I'm the coordinator of early learning here in CFB. Oh, there's Yanette. Yanette, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Janet Cardoza, and I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives in Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD. And I think when Sandy shares her screen, then I'll kind of go into a more in-depth introduction. But
Sure. Do we have that ability right now? Share screen?
No, I don't have it. 1 second.
Okay, perfect. And I think Claudia is actually going to share the screen for us this morning.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
We'll get it right up.
It has been a year of technical difficulties. We fully understand.
Yes, we're all, we've learned Zoom so well this year.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Jenna, can you help?
When you do that, don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Claudia Arisaleta, and I'm the Pre-K Enrollment Coordinator. So the three of us will be here to share some of the great things that we have going on at CFB-ISD and to answer any questions that you may have about enrollment. So in a few seconds, I will be sharing my screen with you so we can start our presentation. Do you want me to email you the presentation?
Yes, please. That would be wonderful.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I think you have the ability to share now. Can you see it?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
You can jump into the second slide, Claudia. So just wanted to, we kind of jump started our introductions, but we also have our email addresses. So if you guys have any follow-up questions, we have these available. And just jumping into enrollment in kinder on the next slide. Just wanted to share with anyone who's interested or who lives in CFB-ISD, we do have pre-K and kinder enrollment fairs this Saturday and next Saturday, May 1st, from 9 to 12 at 2 separate locations, one on the Carrollton Farmers Branch side, and then we also serve the Las Colinas, Irving, Capel side. Will be there May 1st. For any parents who want help completing online enrollment, uploading their documents, checking their immunization record, we know that can be overwhelming for an incoming pre-K and kinder and unsure if they've done it right or if it's complete. So we'll be there to offer that support, and the link is in the PowerPoint to our flyer, so you'll have that. In our next slide, I just wanted to let the parents know who are ready to begin to make their final decision about what school, because we know it's a parent choice. We invite you to go to enrollcfb.com. One of the things that's unique about CFB-ISD is that we do offer a lot of opportunities to engage students in education in different than the traditional way. We do have a lot of neighborhood schools. That will always be true, but we also have schools with the Coding Academy. We have two-way dual language. We have international baccalaureate schools, STEM academies. We have a school dedicated for STEAM gifted and talented students, so kids who are gifted and talented who are interested in STEM and fine arts, and then a fine arts academy. So if you go to enrollcfb.com, there is a place that says programs of choice, and you can explore our programs of choice from elementary all the way into high school. And then on that same webpage, enrollcfb.com, you'll be able to connect directly if you feel like you want to do online enrollment on your own. You can create your login and log in on your own. You can also go to our pre-K site and our kinder website. If you are a new family, have never had a child enroll, once you go to this webpage, you'll see that tab at the bottom left for new families, and it'll give you directions. And you see the other tabs kind of shows you what I've kind of went over, the programs of choice, kindergarten, pre-K. Transfers also have after school care. So if you are a working mom, we do have the opportunity, spaces do fill up fast, of after school care at that same school all the way until 6 p.m. if desired. So on the next slide, I think I am going to pass it on over to Sandy, but before I do, I did want to introduce Sandy. I know Sandy from when I was a campus principal, and she is 100% the best person to share the kinder readiness information. She has 12 years in education, 9 of those in CFB-ISD. She's taught kindergarten, first grade, and then most importantly, I think, is reading recovery, where she really got to dig in and really get to know what students need to be prepared for school, what students need to become strong, literate students. And now she's the coordinator of pre-K through second grade early learning. So now she has an impact in our district for all pre-K, all first grade, all second grade students. So there is no better person than Sandy Meyer to go on and share the rest of this PowerPoint. I'm going to slip out and hand it over to Sandy and Claudia. And again, you have our email addresses. If you need anything, we're here to help.
Well, thank you,
Thank you.
Jeanette. That was very kind. Thank you. As we move on, of course, we are here to talk about kinder readiness, but I want to share just briefly a teeny tiny bit about kindergarten in CFB. So we know that every child comes to kindergarten at different stages of development and growth, and we believe that learning should never be designed as a one-size-fits-all. So just real quickly on this next slide, we think that kindergarten should be filled with opportunities to play, learn, and grow. And so purposeful play is essential to early childhood development, and it is a critical time for children to be developing their language skills, those oral language skills. And then, of course, learning is going to take place in kindergarten, and it sets the stage for the child's academic career. So in CFB, we utilize a workshop model for instruction that allows our teachers to provide small group instruction so children receive the individualized instruction that they need. And then lastly, we know that children are going to grow leaps and bounds during their kindergarten year. Not only are we talking about learning academic skills such as reading and writing, but children are also learning social and emotional skills, those oral language skills, vocabulary, and just the necessary life skills. So now that I shared a very brief overview, let's go on and talk about more specifically kindergarten readiness. So today we've compiled a list of the questions we most often receive regarding kindergarten readiness. Now, of course, we want to welcome your questions as well, and I know we're going to have time to do that at the very end. But as I'm just going over this brief list, if something sparks a question within you, if you want to go ahead and write it in the chat, and that way I can make a note, Claudia will make a note, and we'll address it at the end as well. And what's most special about the answers to these questions is we went straight to the experts. We went to our kindergarten teachers themselves to form our FAQ. So we went to expert kinder teachers who have years of experience, and we gathered responses for our FAQ. Okay, so diving right in, one question we hear often, Claudia, yep, thank you, is how can I help my child wake up on time for school? So our teachers came up with several different responses and wonderful tactics, which you can see here on the screen, but the bottom line was routine and practice. And so starting in those summer months, start getting into a routine, which I have two kids of my own. One is in kindergarten right now, and routine can be hard in the summer, but start breaking them in and develop that routine, setting the alarm, and that's one of the best ways to practice. All right, so moving on, one of the most often questions we hear is, does my child need to know letters and sounds before kindergarten? The simple answer is this is not a requirement before kindergarten. So take a deep breath and rest assured this is not a requirement. Our kinder teachers are well equipped with a systematic and research-based phonics program. The picture right here is Mabel the elephant. That is the mascot for our kinder's phonics unit. First grade and second grade have their own mascots as well. And here she is with her letters. So, I mean, your child will be introduced systematically to letters and sounds and putting them together, blending and segmenting throughout the year. Now, can you practice at home? Absolutely. So we put together a little list here of ways for you to go ahead and start practicing at home. I mean, letters in your child's name. I'm sure that you're already doing some of these things. But so here's just a little list of practical ways. You could buy a set of magnetic letters from the dollar store and put them on their fridge. I wouldn't be surprised if you already had that done already. But so this is just to rest assured, no, doesn't need to be done before the first day of kinder. Okay. I think the next one is, how can I help my child transition away from naps? So again, similar to that first question we had, routine is vital here. And then increments of time were what our kinder teacher said. Earlier bedtime, waking them up little bits at a time, but I know from personal experience that this can be a struggle. The best news is once they get into a routine of kindergarten, it'll become easier and they will thrive off of that routine. The next question is interesting. How can I help my child to regulate emotions? So this idea of self-regulation is what allows a child to listen and to wait and react calmly to things. And so it's super vital when they're met with challenges. And so there are some things that research tells us that you can do at home. Teaching breathing strategies, playing games that require taking turns and waiting, and even helping your child develop music skills or things that just require focus. And so these are some interesting strategies that you could promote at home. I think the next question is, oh, this is a great one. How can I help my child to prepare for kindergarten over the summer? And so our teachers gave some really interesting and wonderful responses. So again, we see taking turns is a big one. Practicing getting dressed. I mean, when you think about your child needing to go to the bathroom at school on their own, what skills would they need to do? Can they zip their pants and button them? Can they take off their jacket and hang it up by themselves? Can they put the jacket back on? Now, of course, teachers are always here to help. But these are some of the skills that you'll want to start fostering on their own. And even things like visit the library every week, just exposure to books. So I think this is a great list, helping them with activities where they need to sit still for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. Okay, the next one, connecting right away. Will my child be expected to sit still all day? Absolutely not. We know that science and research tells us that children at this age really should not be asked to sit still longer than 10 to 15 minutes at a time. So a kindergarten classroom is active, it is busy. There are times they're moving from the carpet to small group tables to their individual tables, then maybe to learning in a certain area. As you can see, Claudia and I joined you from a kindergarten classroom. It is busy. It is print rich. There are things all over the room because students are moving all over the room. Let's see. The next question is about homework. So this may vary depending on the campus. Something I see teachers do a lot is have like a choice board or a tic-tac-toe of activities that you could choose from for the week. But we always encourage 20 minutes of reading every night. And when we say 20 minutes of reading, that's reading with your child, reading to your child, any type of reading. So that will definitely be included in homework, but the rest may vary depending on the teacher or the campus. I think we're wrapping up here. How many specials activities will my child go to? So you heard from Yannette at the beginning that we offer a wide variety of choices in CFB as far as campuses. So that does affect the specials that your child may go to. Every campus has the traditional music, art, and PE. But then in addition, depending on the campus that you may choose to go to, it might have theater, dance, technology, engineering, STEM, coding, Spanish, or Chinese. So there are lots of choices. And then you can visit our website for more info depending on the campus. So I think that wraps up our FAQ that we most commonly hear and that our teachers put together their expert answers. So Amber, are we going to save all questions for the end?
Yes. So if you want to go ahead and just type in your questions in the chat box. And then after we hear from LASD, then we'll have just like all the questions, Q&A time then.
That sounds great. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and stop sharing our screen. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for presenting. All right, let's see. So next from LASD, we have Heidi Veal. And we've got some resources and websites from her as well. And so again, we'll be sending out this presentation. So check your emails in the next couple of days and then you'll as well. So, all right, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amber. I would also like to share my screen if I can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, I think you're set.
All right. Is there a setting? Where do I find the share my screen? Because we use WebEx, not Zoom.
It should be at the very top of the screen where it says like, there's like a button that says share content. Hopefully.
It's possibly also at the bottom with the green arrow.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Depends on the browser that you're using.
Oh, true.
There we go. All right, can you see my screen now?
It says you have started. Okay, we can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for inviting me to be here today. And Sandy, it was lovely to hear your presentation. Thank you so much. I love getting to hear about and learn about our neighboring districts and loving the fact that we're all, in it together, educating all of our students. And I love knowing that there's excellence next door to us as well everywhere. My name is Heidi Veal, and I am the Early Childhood Program Administrator in Louisville ISD. And that just means that I get to support and oversee all of our pre-K programs. And a really special part of that responsibility is also kind of nurturing that transition between pre-kindergarten to kindergarten and helping to support that transition and registration, enrollment, all those good things. So I'm so excited to share about kindergarten readiness, kind of some tips and tricks from teachers and parents alike. What I'm really thrilled to hear is there's a lot of overlap from what Sandy shared. You're going to hear it echoed in things that I've shared. I will share with you also. So we're going to look at a little bit of information as some of you parents are thinking about your own child and knowing that it's time for kindergarten, or it will be time for kindergarten, even, for your younger children. And I just want to share from my heart. I come to you as a parent, just like Sandy does. I think it's important to share my own, little journey. I, just like you, sent my own two children to public school kindergarten when it was time, when they were age ready to go. And even though I'm an educator, I'm a teacher at heart. I've, taught in the classroom, been on the campus as an administrator as well. And I still, just like you, moms and dads, had questions and anxieties of my own, even though I had that peek behind the curtain for my own kids. I will say when my oldest went to middle school, I think my anxiety was even higher. So just to kind of put that out there. But I want to tell you about my little guy, Greer, here in the picture. This was him in the middle right before kindergarten started. And you can see he's so excited. He has a big smile on his face. And what I want you to take away is the two pictures in the bottom corners. That is him on the last days of kindergarten. And he's still smiling, excited, engaged. And just like that, it was so exciting. It was a very special year, as it will be for your own child, your own children, to see their excitement and growth from the beginning all the way to the end. So I share that with you. I'm a parent just as you, and these are some of the same questions that I had when I was getting ready to send my boys to kindergarten. Things like, for them at their school, what will they do in kindergarten? What will happen? How will the teachers keep my child from being bored or keeping them engaged in school? And how can I best support my own child? It feels different when we think about it as our own children versus as an educator perspective of the children of others. So one of the biggest questions, though, that all parents ask, even myself, was, is my child ready for kindergarten when that time comes? But is my child ready? And one thing I want you to hear, probably Sandy would back this up too, and from the educator's perspective, we want you to know it is our job to be ready for your child. It is not your child's job to be ready for us. That's our job. And we are ready. Our kindergarten teachers are ready. They look forward to the first day of kindergarten like people look forward to the Super Bowl. Like, this is their Super Bowl. And they are used to, for those of you who might have a kiddo whose date of birth is kind of close to the cutoff point with September 1, they are used to that. They know that they're going to have some students coming in who have that, late 5-year-old birthday, and they just turned 5, or they maybe are still 4 on the first day of school because they turned 5, leading right up to September 1. They're also very used to having students who turn 6 right after September 1. So those older kinder students, they are used to that. They're ready for it, and they're ready for your kiddos. So saying that, I think it is important to know and have this in mind. All children are welcome to enroll in kindergarten as long as they are 5 on or before September 1. And this is set for next school year for the 2021-22 school year. So whatever your child's age is, that date of birth, September 1, is the age cutoff that's set by the state of Texas. This is not an age cutoff that is set by individual school districts. This is a state of Texas cutoff date. And so once your child, the year when they are 5 on or before September 1, that is their school year of age for enrollment. And though our students may be little learners, they are doing some really big learning in kindergarten. Some things that they're going to learn about, of course, academics, but it is so much more. Kindergarten is not just the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's important life skills like learning how to follow the authority and the instructions and directions of an adult other than their primary caregiver and parents. How to play, get along, interact, work with other kids, how to grow in independence. Independence is huge, 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 huge. And they will grow in independence in really awesome ways in that kindergarten year. How to learn new things in a group setting, and also how to advocate for themselves and express that they need help when it's needed, especially for maybe our more shy children, how to advocate for themselves and speak up for themselves and say when they need help, and showing interest in learning, especially learning new things. So, pushing the boundaries, learning new things in new different environments. So how do 5-year-olds typically learn? the secret here is they learn a lot the same way our pre-K age children learn. If you think about if your child is 4 now, they pretty much learn the same way in kindergarten. Like Sandy said, active, moving. They need to be engaged with hands-on things. They love music and art and movement, creative play. And they love to work on real world problems and projects. So the picture you see here, this is a class, and their challenge was we need to make the biggest Valentine ever. And so they brainstormed and thought what they would do, how they would solve that challenge. And they decided, let's make a giant heart and let's all make it together. And that experience had a lot of meaning for them because it was a real world problem for them, and it was something they were able to accomplish and do together and feel that pride. And it also, while they thought they were just solving a problem and having fun together and making something kind for others, they're also practicing a lot of academic skills, fine motor, writing, all of those pieces, that letter sound connection. So we try to learn and teach things so that we have lots of skills wrapped together. But first and foremost, our young children, really all students, all of us, we learn in an environment where we feel safe, secure, and valued. And that's really just the wheelhouse of kindergarten teachers, is that classroom climate and culture. They understand that our kiddos first and foremost need to learn in a nurtured, safe, secure, valued environment for the students. And that's something they spend a good bit of time on, especially at the beginning of the year, but continue to nurture all year long, is knowing that it is a safe environment for learning and working together, and that all students are highly valued. So by the end of kindergarten, what are some things that most students will be doing? This is exciting. These are exciting things to look forward to. Working independently as well within a group, using appropriate words and behaviors to handle challenges and upset, and then being responsible for organization of their own materials. Now, my children are now 13 and 10, and so I'm still excited about those types of skills developing. I'm realizing, of course, that is a lifelong process for our kids. But especially that social emotional growth and the academic growth, it'll be incredible. And seeing how they grow socially, emotionally, and how they handle challenges and upset through that kindergarten year, and the academic growth as well. Especially in the area of writing. That's one of the most tangible places where you can actually see, wow, how much they grew from the beginning to the middle to the end of the year. And then just a few things. What do kindergarten teachers want parents to know? This really echoes some things you've already heard today, is helping your child grow in independence can start right now by teaching them in just simple and practicing these simple life skills, like how to open food containers so that they can open their Jell-O snack pack and Lunchable on their own without assistance, putting on jackets, taking off jackets, unzipping backpacks, getting backpacks on, shoes, independence in the restroom. So all of those things, getting help with that so that they can be independent in the classroom setting is massive. A friend of mine the other day just posted on Facebook a picture of their kinder-bound student for the fall, just learned how to open up a cutie. So even practicing things like that, and that the kindergarten teachers all cheered. Encouraging your child to play with others, interacting, sharing, making friends, playing together. And I know that with COVID, we're kind of like in our bubble with our close family and friends maybe, but even just with family members, playing games is a great way to practice those skills of sharing, taking turns. And just remembering that kindergarten is so much more than just the academics. It is an experience. It is social learning. There's cognitive development, but the social emotional development is so enormous also, as your child is learning to be a learner for a lifetime. Now, here are some, like, just 4 R's of things that we can do to help prepare that transition to kindergarten. And the first one is resist the urge. Now, this one right here is, as moms and dads, there is no doubt we might have some anxiety or things that we're worried about or question about and want to know more about with it when it comes to that transition to kindergarten. But we also know our kids see and hear everything. Tell me if I'm right. And they pick up on our mood, and they pick up on our anxieties and the things we worry about. So if you're feeling those feelings about the kinder transition, resist the urge to talk about it in front of your child and project that in front of them, because they will pick up on that, and then it will become their anxiety. So that's one thing to just practice. Another thing is reassure them that wherever they are right now in this pre-kindergarten, this pre-K time before kindergarten, that there will be similarities and differences of that setting to what kindergarten will be like, and talk about that. These are some things that will be the same. These are some things that will be different, and different is fine. But it kind of helps them to sort out what to expect. Routines and consistency at home will help you tremendously with the kinder transition, with things like weaning off of needing a nap in the afternoon, and especially the morning routines and the evening routines. A consistent bedtime is massive. Having plenty of sleep every night is enormous. So having a consistent morning routine with breakfast, wake up time and ready to go for school, and a consistent bedtime routine really, really helps. And just to echo, reading to your child every single day, it's the most important thing you can do to help your child be, ready. And just to continue to foster that love of learning. There's nothing more valuable than that time reading together with your child. Just a few kind of practical ways that you can support your child in kindergarten. One is when you're there, check emails consistently or backpack for daily notes and communication. We're using a lot more electronic communication, even applications like Seesaw, Dojo, Remind. So be on the bandwagon, check those reminders so that you're in the know on what's going on at school. To talk to your child about their day, ask questions and listen. One great technique is to echo back what they've said and then just wait and see where that leads the conversation and what they want to tell you next. Talk to your child's teacher about any concerns or questions you may have. Don't let something fester or wait. If you're wondering about something, ask, please ask, and take it to the teacher first. We always appreciate if someone has a question that they bring it directly to us first instead of going to someone outside of that. Once again, it's just repetition. Encourage your child's independent. Read to your child every day. These are invaluable things. And if you can at your school, volunteer as opportunities present. Hopefully in the years to come, those on campus or other volunteer opportunities will start to reemerge. And of course, we see you guys know the value of being a part of your PTA. Join your school PTA. They do just unbelievable things for your child's school. And there's just nothing like it, that partnership between families and teachers and the school. So you guys already know that. I'm preaching to the choir. So if you want to know a little bit more, if you just want to see some things in writing and kind of a touch point to go back to, we have information on our LISD website about early childhood programs and about kindergarten. So go to the website, click on here in this area where it says our district, and a little menu will drop down. You'll choose departments, then you'll click on early childhood programs and then kindergarten, or the easy button is click that search window and just type in kindergarten. It'll take you right to the website you're looking for. Now, if I have a minute, Amber, you tell me, could I share a few things about pre-K in LISD?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm going to kind of fly through this one, but I would feel remiss if I didn't give a big shout out to our Lisd Pre-K programs, because truly from small beginnings come really great things. We serve a big handful, lots of types of students in Lisd Pre-K, state eligible, of course, children who qualify for special education in the early childhood years, children of Lisd employees. We have a special pre-K program for Lisd employee children and grandchildren, which is a great perk of the district. And then we also have some really vibrant, incredible tuition-only classes. And I want to make sure you guys hear about the eligibility and the tuition-only classes, because it might be something you could be interested in based on where you live in your area. These are the eligibilities for state eligible pre-K, and so kids who are 4 years old, on or before September 1 of the enrolling school year, who meet one of these eligibilities would be able to enroll for free pre-K in Lisd, and actually free pre-K in the district that you're zoned for. We have follow the Texas Pre-K guidelines. These are the standards that are aligned to the kindergarten standards in Texas that cover all of these 10 domains that focus on the whole child. So not just academic, but social emotional learning, all areas, in order to foster just developing young kiddos who are ready for kindergarten in the most magnificent ways. So we address, of course, early literacy with emergent reading and writing. These are all pictures from our pre-K classrooms. And of course, I have to say, these are pre-COVID. So you don't see any masks because these were all taken prior to COVID. So I want to make sure, well, we have a few sprinkled in here who were taken this fall. Of course, we focus on social emotional learning. That is a big part of the learning in our pre-K classrooms. We use conscious discipline as our method for, teaching self-regulation and fostering that nurturing, warm classroom climate. And we've just seen our students grow and mature in so many incredible ways through all of the different conscious discipline routines and supporting their school family. Just some really neat things about our Lisd Pre-K programs. We are in the process of expanding to full day pre-K, and that rollout started this school year. So we are growing from offering only half-day classes to offering half-day and full day while we're in that transition. And eventually we'll have only full-day pre-K classes in Lisd. We've got 20 campuses across the school district that have pre-K classrooms. 64 pre-K teachers, 88 total pre-kindergarten sections, 40 of which are full day. And this year, right now, we're serving well over 1,000 students in our Lisd pre-K. So it is very robust. Of course, this year we're also offering virtual pre-K, which has been amazing to see our teachers grow in that area and to see our students grow through virtual learning. But we couldn't have been more excited when we were able to welcome our students back into the classrooms for in-person learning in safe ways. Discovery Academy is something I'd really love to share with you guys. This is our tuition-based pre-K option. It is an extended day program, and we enroll in Discovery Academy both 3- and 4-year-old students. It is offered at 4 elementary locations and 1 in the Carrollton area at Hebron Valley Elementary School. Now, currently, it is an application-based program. We have taken the applications and selected the classes for next year, and all of the spots at Flower Mound, Highland Village, and Louisville, those locations are full, but we currently still have a few spots available at the Hebron Valley Elementary location. If your child is 3 or 4 on or before September 1, 2021, and you're interested in this type of an option, participating in a tuition-based pre-K program taught by our incredible Lisd pre-K teachers with a STEM-enriched pre-K curriculum where they attend full day and have actual extended day hours that start at 6:50 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening. And the classes also go-to specials every day. So either art, music, PE, or STEM specials as part of their schedule. Please, please, please check out the Discovery Academy website, because we have a waiting list application available on the website. And we are accepting waiting list applications, especially because we are still filling a few spots at the Hebron Valley location. So if anyone's interested in that, check it out. You will love it. We are enrolling right now for pre-K and kinder. If you live in the zone, you can enroll now. You start by just starting that Skyward online enrollment process and enrolling as a new student. And then the campus will reach out to you to complete enrollment, which includes uploading your documents. We're doing everything virtually, but of course the campus can assist if there's any need that you have with documents or completing that enrollment process. All right, and so that's back to our early childhood programs website. That has information about pre-K and kindergarten and Discovery Academy. And we just really appreciate you guys inviting us to come. We even have an enrollment video. I'm not going to show it now, but if you want to watch that and learn about how to get enrolled in pre-K and LISD, it is there. So thank you so much for inviting me. I feel like we just have great things happening in LISD between kindergarten and pre-K, and it was a real pleasure to get to share about that with your group today.
Oh, thank you so much, Heidi. It was so nice to hear from you. Thank you for letting us know about, pre-K and kinder. So that was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so, yes, we have all of the links to the resources and websites here in our presentation. So we're going to be emailing that out to everyone. And so we have pre-K links and kindergarten links. And we have kinder links from both LASD and CFBISD. So, all right. So I guess now we're going to open it up to Q&A. So I see we have a lot of questions already in our chat. So that's great. I guess Sandy and Heidi, if you want to go ahead and just take turns and we can go down the list of questions and just get all of those answered. So let's see. Our first question is, can you discuss a little bit more about the dual language programs? Do they start in pre-K or kindergarten? And what is the requirements for those programs?
Sure. So our dual language program starts in kinder, but it is only on 2 of our campuses, Stark and Thompson. Oh, is there another one? I apologize, and McCamey as well. And so 2 of those campuses have pre-K. We offer a full day pre-K on 16 of our campuses, tuition based and state qualifying as well. So on all 16 of those campuses. So for the dual language program, if it's at, again, Stark, Thompson, and McCamey. Those would be the 3 that you would want to look at when enrolling for kinder. If you were looking at pre-K, your options would be limited a little bit more because Thompson doesn't offer pre-K. But sorry, I was looking at a message in the chat. I would certainly check those out first.
Right. And then Heidi, did you want to add anything to that?
We do have dual language, 2-way dual language programs available starting in kindergarten in Louisville ISD. And I would encourage you, again, go back to the LISD website, click on that search button and just type in dual language. It'll take you right to the dual language website and you'll get the most accurate information. If your child would be a Spanish language learner, it is an application-based process because those spaces are limited. And there are dual language meetings that happen all throughout the second semester of the school year. So I want to say I saw an advertisement that there's one more coming up, or maybe it happened last night or it's happening tonight. So check out the website, because it'll give you the most accurate information. We also have Spanish immersion programs where the entire curriculum is delivered in Spanish. Hicks Elementary, which is a Frisco address, it's in a neighborhood off of Legacy, is a Spanish immersion program, and then also Wellington Elementary, which is in Flower Mound.
All right, thank you. So let's see, our next question is, my son will be attending LISD. Is there such a thing as knowing too much when kids attend kinder in terms of them getting bored in class, etc.?
No, I don't think so, because again, our teachers are ready for that. Like, how will they continue to keep our students who, might even walk in the door reading already? They know how to differentiate their instruction in order to engage all students. We also have opportunities. I think talking about dual language, we have enrichment opportunities to extend and push students. If dual language or Spanish immersion is something that interests you, to up the ante for your child's learning, those programs are there. We also have STEM academies in LISD at, let's see, Bridlewood, Donald, Polzer, and Valley Ridge. So at 4 different schools across the district, which are an incredible enrichment opportunity. All of our kindergartens have enrichment opportunities delivered through the gifted and talented teachers who come in on kind of a rotating basis about once every 9 weeks and do some push-in activities with the kindergarten classes in order to just help support all learners in the classroom, but also to start having an idea who the kiddos are who might need a little bit more of enrichment type learning, and able to consult with their teachers.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. So in terms of potty trained, my son is fully potty trained, but he still needs assistance wiping. Are there any tips for getting them fluent in wiping their butts on their own? What is the bathroom situation? Is the restroom usually connected to a kindergarten classroom, or is it down the hall in a separate area? And do kids walk to the restrooms on their own?
Okay, I actually have a good idea for this. I can't believe I'm going to say this on here, but I saw this. One of our teachers was even practicing this with their class. This is totally clean, you guys. I think at the beginning of the year last year, because she's a virtual teacher now, but she taped 2 blown up balloons to the back of the students' chairs. And so the students are sitting in their student chair in the classroom. The balloons are taped to the back and kind of down part of their chairs. And she gave them like paper towels so that they could practice reaching and wiping between the balloons. So there's an idea.
I've seen that also.
Yes. Thank you, Internet, for giving us these great ideas. As far as our kindergarten classrooms, many of our kindergarten rooms have an attached bathrooms. If they don't, there is a hallway restroom available very, very close. So our teachers have routines to make sure everyone has access.
I mean, I would echo Heidi, and this definitely falls in the category of, I understand as parents, we're super worried and we think that this is a really big problem, but it is not going to surprise the teacher. I mean, they are used to this. Now, then if it does become a sanitary issue, like, the nurse is always right there and can definitely step in and help. But this is not going to be a surprise to the teacher. And also in agreement, several of our classrooms do have an attached bathroom. Not all of them do. A lot of the teachers use a buddy system to where kids aren't walking by themselves. Of course, there are scheduled restroom breaks, but I mean, teachers in kindergarten are extremely flexible. So if a student needs to go to the bathroom and it's not a scheduled bathroom break, then I mean, of course, the student is going to be allowed to go to the bathroom. So, but again, this is not a surprise.
All right, so that's good to know. That was some of my question as well. All right, so our next question is, what COVID safety protocols do you foresee still being in place for the 2021-22 school year?
Sandy, do you want to do that one first?
Sure. So I was thinking about that earlier and how to respond. And I mean, I think this year in general, as humans, we've gotten really good at pivoting and last minute changes. And that's really hard for us because we like to plan as moms and parents, we like to plan. And guess what? School districts like to plan as well. And a lot of that has been taken away from us because we don't always know and get to foresee the future. So, I mean, you can see even in this classroom that I'm in right now, there are desk shields up. And I'm sure Louisville has things very similar to that. But honestly, I don't know. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it depends on how you look at it, those decisions aren't even made by CFB or Louisville. They're made by TEA, the Texas Education Agency, and a lot of them are. And then, or they're made by the county health officials, or they're made by and a lot of decisions aren't really in our hands. And so I know that's not the answer that you want to hear, but it's hard for us not to be able to plan and know ahead. But Heidi, maybe you have more info than I do.
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball. We're prepared for anything. So I wish I knew, just like we would love to be able to tell you, like, yes, it'll be this and that, but we do have COVID related information that is frequently updated on our LISD website. It is front and center. When you get on the homepage, you can see COVID information. Go check it out if you want to read, because we've got orange, yellow, and I think green are like the mitigating levels. And we've been in orange all year, which is our most, red is all, remote learning, all closed, like it was last spring. But we've been in orange all year, and we just got an email yesterday saying, kind of giving some guidance on, we're staying in orange until the last day of school, but we've got some tweaks that we're able to make as things have numbers and active cases have decreased over the time span recently in the spring. So hopefully things will continue to trend in that direction, but as far as knowing what things will look like when school starts, there's just no crystal ball for that.
One thing I did want to add to that is that the kids are not fazed at all by wearing masks, by like I have a kindergartner and a fifth grader, and my kindergartner, like, I have to tell him, you're in the car now, you can take your mask off. I mean, they are not bothered one bit. And my kindergartner thinks this is just normal school. Why it's not any different than it is, even though he started school in 2020. But so I hope that's reassuring to you. But it's just normal to them because kids are very resilient.
Agree.
All right, thank you. Let's see, our next question. What does homework look like for kindergarten? And I know we kind of already touched on that, but if you want to add anything else to that.
Mainly just read, like Sandy did. Read to your child. Just read to your child as much as you can at home.
Yes, reading is definitely good, I know. All right, what are the must-knows before entering kindergarten?
With that, I just want to clarify, is that a parent must know or child must know?
Let's see.
And while clarifying, I'm glad to answer that next. Child. Okay.
Child.
I mean, again, I just want to stress, it's not your child's job to be ready for us. It's our job to be ready for them. So anything that you can do to just even practice independent skills, those life skills, recognizing their name is convenient, but again, it's not required. So, yeah.
All right.
I agree. Mhm.
Okay. So, is there any way to know whether a campus will be starting in person or virtual? I guess like a specific campus.
So that falls back on the Texas Education Agency hasn't released information as to whether they would provide funding for virtual only learning. Some districts like Denton ISD made an announcement that of their own saying like they're going to support it one way or another. Most districts are waiting on that announcement. Which I think Carrollton and Louisville both kind of fall into that. So that just goes back to, I know waiting is hard. We want to know everything now.
All right. So let's see. So I don't know if this would fall under that same, like we just kind of have to wait and see, or but if there's an in-person campus, how many virtual school days are planned?
I'm sorry, we don't know that yet for Carrollton.
Our current calendar is for 180 days for next year, but yeah, we don't have the answer for that one specifically.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, let's see. Our next question, do kids have to attend pre-K in order to attend kindergarten? And I'm pretty sure the answer to that one is no, right?
No.
Okay.
If they qualify, we want them enrolled. We would love to have them if they qualify for pre-K. We would love for them to be enrolled in a pre-K eligible classroom, but it is not compulsory. It's not required.
Okay. Let's see. When are children evaluated for gifted and talented?
So in CFB, first of all, CFB is an open enrollment district, so you don't have to live in the CFB boundaries, even to attend pre-K. And you can choose the pay for pre-K tuition based, even if you're not in CFB. And if you are a pre-K student, you can request GT testing in the spring of pre-K. And then all kinder, first and second grade students are screened each year for GT testing, but a parent can always request GT testing.
Mm-hmm. I would echo the same.
Okay. Thanks. That's really helpful to know too. Do students have to reapply to their school after kindergarten, or are they automatically re-enrolled for the following year?
Yeah, their enrollment we call it roll up to the next school year. So when you go online and you fill out all of those new student online enrollment forms, you do that in Louisville, you do that once. And then for the next year that they're coming back, you don't have to start from scratch. What you will get though they're called August back to school forms. And so it'll be a link. They'll say it's time to submit your August back to school forms. And it's basically going into your child's online enrollment forms and updating them. Do you have a new phone number, new address, those kind of things. It's just updating in the fall.
Okay.
So for us, it's kind of similar. So parents don't need to complete the new student enrollment every year, but they will need to re-enroll the student every year and complete a few forms.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. Does kindergarten come in half day and full day options?
No, ours is full day kindergarten only. All full day.
Okay. Okay, I guess that is all of our questions we have in our chat. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Joy Lynn. She's going to talk about our book recommendations and kind of close us out.
Thank you to our guest speakers, Yannette, Sandy, and Claudia and Heidi for joining us today and speak to our members and parents. I hope you all enjoyed our presentation and they were able to answer all of your questions. If you like our presentation, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Carrollton ECPTA. Here I have a couple of book recommendations. I have a first grader right now, and my second child is 5, and she will be going into kindergarten. So we have a couple of recommendations that I went through as a kinder mom, first time mom, and I would love to share it with you. We have some Bob books, First Little Readers. One of our favorites is First Little Comics here. It's like a colorful version of Bob books. Dot to dot books are great. I can read phonic books, some cut and paste books, and then Osborne Ready to Write pen control books are great to help practice writing their names and circles and things like that. So these are just some book recommendations we had, and I hope you guys can take away with that. Here are our guest speakers' email addresses. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to them. Of course, I'll email all this information to you. But again, thank you to all of our guest speakers. I'm going to give them a round of applause. Yay!
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you again. And also, if you have questions, you can email Amber. Her email address is cecptapublicity@gmail.com, our website as well. And these are our links. So again, thank you. I hope you all enjoy, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you.